Councilmember Rick Cole here in downtown Pasadena on Madison Avenue. We're in front of a development that gives an example of what I'd like to see more of in Pasadena. We're clearly seeing a lot of high density housing, and we're going to see a lot more in the years ahead. Why is that? Well, two reasons. One, the state of California is mandating that cities make room for higher density housing, particularly near transit. But the other reason is it's the right thing to do. It's hard to be able to find an affordable apartment or first-time condo for young families in Pasadena. And here's where the jobs are. And so it's hard for people who are currently renting to hang on to their places because of rising rents. And it's also hard for young people to get their start. So we need more housing. We're going to see more housing, but it needs to fit into our neighborhoods and create high quality neighborhoods along our transit corridors and in our downtown. And we have control over that. We can set the rules. Now, look at this project. For example, what I like about it is, look, it's set back from the street. There's room for greenery. There's semi-private patios. There's, most important of all, doors and windows on the ground floor. When you walk by here, walking your dog at 7:30 as it's getting dark in the summer, these pedestrian lights come on. You feel like you're in a neighborhood and you have neighbors. Whereas so many of the recent developments have been with stark blank walls at the ground level, no courtyards, no greenery. This is not about aesthetic taste, although we all have our preferences. This is about creating a livable neighborhood. People live here, people live across the street. So let's make sure that the new building creates livable, walkable neighborhoods with trees and greenery and front doors and windows that make this feel like a place you want to live and not just a place that you found because you couldn't find any other place. That's what I hope we'll have in the future. So when I was on the Planning Commission 3 years ago, I began advocating for objective design standards so we get more of this and much less, in fact, get no more of these ugly, out of scale, stark developments that have scarred so many of our streets. How do we do that? Well, on Monday, the City Council, just a couple days before the first anniversary of my serving on council, we adopted objective design standards that have been 3 years in the making with the Planning Commission and our planning staff. And it sets rules about what happens at the ground floor, that we have doors and windows instead of blank walls, that the balconies fit in to the fabric of the surrounding community, that the sidewalk is wide enough and there are street trees. All of those things and many more are within our control to make sure we get, if people are going to do a Spanish development, that it looks Spanish and not Taco Bell. That's not just, again, about the architectural excellence of the legacy of Pasadena. It's also about making sure that our future is one that we're going to be proud of. Government often moves slowly, but that's why I'm delighted that we finally now have objective design standards that will guide future development to make sure that we end up with Pasadena continuing to evolve, but evolve with the best of the timeless principles of what makes great neighborhoods, what makes livable neighborhoods, that we make it easy for developers to do the right thing in the right place. That's what we want, and we shouldn't accept anything less.